Hello, everybody. I'm going to show you this book I got 2 days ago. No, it was actually yesterday, yeah. Ah, hiccups. So, this is the book I got Elderitch Tales, Miscellany of Macabre. I actually wanted it for my birthday, but we got it yesterday. So, yeah. It's a great book. I only read like a little bit so far, but I like it. I had heard some reviews and heard a bunch of bad stuff about it, but I still got it because it got most of the stories that I did want to get. Wait, let me just. It had a lot of stuff that I was looking for in the first place. For example, the alchemist, the beast in a cave, the poet's nightmare, memory, despair, beyond the walls of sleep, psychopompus, a tale in rhyme, the white ship, the house, the nightmare lake, Neolarthodep, Polaris, the street, Ex-Oblivion. I don't know. The crawling chaos, the tree. No, I already have the tree. Sorry. Cellophase, Hypnos, what the moon brings, the horror at Martin's Beach, the festival, the temple. No, I already have the temple. Halloween in the suburb, the moon bog, festival, and just all these stuff. It doesn't just come with the stories; it also comes with the poems too. For example, let me just go find a poem. One of them is here. It's actually, I think I went past one. Wait, shoot. I'm trying to show you the first actual poem I read of H.P. Lovecraft. That, not the sonnet sequence. It's the wait. It's called Despair. Let me just find it. It's not there. I'm just gonna. Okay. So yeah, it's a pretty big book. My mom asked how much stuff H.P. Lovecraft wrote when I showed her the book that I wanted to get. Despair is on page 38. So this is actually, it's like a very thick book. Sorry. Shoot. Okay. So this is the first poem I ever read. Not the, I already read Funky from Yuggoth, but the story I actually first read was was Despair. I read Despair, but I thought, so I read it online in the H.P. Lovecraft official website, but I wanted the actual paper version because it always feels better to have the paper version, right? So yeah, it's a great book in my opinion. I don't know why so many people say bad things about this book, but I like it. It already has most of the stories that I'm looking for. Now I have a very small want for H.P. Lovecraft stuff because I gotta read all these stuff. I wanted to get the Necronomicon at the first like the Necronomicon as in like the first collection of books. This is the second part of the collection, but it already had most of the stuff I wanted to. It already had most of the stuff that I had. The only stuff that it did have that I wanted was like the Commonplace book. I don't know why I want to read his Commonplace book. It's kind of, I don't know. And the Case of Charles Dexter Warden. That's it. And I think it had The Outsider, and I wanted to read that too. But I'd rather get the story that has more stories than the long that have. I'd rather have the book that has the majority of the stories that I want to get. And it has the Fungi from Yuggoth, which is good, except I already have Fungi from Yuggoth. So if I got this sooner, then I wouldn't have to wait for long for the Fungi from Yuggoth, but that's okay with me. It got supernatural horror and literature. I'm excited to read that, but first I'm going to focus on the smaller stories like The Quest of Viranon, or the, what else? The Crawling Chaos and such. The Alchemist, I believe. I believe The Alchemist is a good tale, but I don't know. I'm gonna read it soon. It has illustrations in it, which is very fascinating, and it also comes with, if I just look for it, shoot. The front, you can see that it also shows only like it's not all of the stuff, but there's only 3 manuscript pictures here, which is the which is the history of the Necronomicon one. So you got that one, which is also shoot. Sorry, which is that one and this one. I like H.P. Lovecraft's handwriting. I like it more than my handwriting. I'll show you my handwriting. This is my journal. I just write just like story ideas in here, and maybe like poems and quotes and such. I actually copied down. I also copied down poetry in here. For example, The Hollow Men by T.S. Eliot, so that I don't have to get a book for it. But I'm not gonna waste my time writing like long stories like H.P. Lovecraft's Case of Charles Dexter Ward in this book, because this is supposed to be like stories and like just ideas for stories and stuff and quotes. Like it also comes with this stuff. My handwriting. Let me see which. Okay, I'll just show you this one. So this is my handwriting compared to H.P. Lovecraft's. His is very good. That's basically it. And then I can also show you these stuff. Sorry. Oh shoot. Where is it? I'll just wait. Sorry. It's right there. I almost got it. Okay, found it. So it also comes with the typescript for it. So this is another manuscript thing, I guess. So it shows 2 manuscripts and 1 typescript. The other one is the Fungi from Yuggoth Homecoming sonnet. So, yeah. The stuff here, the introduction looks a little different, sounds a little different from the introduction here. There's only 1 paragraph here, but this one obviously has like more than 2 paragraphs actually. The supernatural horror in literature is the one where he says the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest fear is fear of the unknown. I really like this book. In my opinion, it's great. I don't want the Necronomicon because it already has most of the stuff that I want to read that I already have. So there's no point in getting it. Yeah, this is just messy stuff. The table there. So sorry that I'm so messy. So yeah, it's a good book. If you want to get like a beginner's book, then you shouldn't get this one. I didn't even want to get this one when I first wanted to read H.P. Lovecraft. I wasn't sure if I liked it, so I got a small H.P. Lovecraft Arcturus collection. Not the collection I have now, but it's a small H.P. Lovecraft book. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, and I realized I do like H.P. Lovecraft. And I don't just like H.P. Lovecraft. I also like Edgar Allan Poe. I like T.S. Eliot poetry, and I like Shakespeare. I just like the old stuff, I guess. I don't know. I know this girl in my class named Scarlett. Well, she used to be in my class. Obviously, I'm going to middle school now. She likes Greek mythology stuff. I think she just reads like Percy Jackson and stuff. So, I don't know. But yeah. It also comes with Beyond the Wall of Sleep. And this book also comes with Beyond the Wall of Sleep. And, but I wanted to read it at first, but then I read, I like H.P. Lovecraft stuff, but I want H.P. Lovecraft stuff that, what I like about H.P. Lovecraft is his story. The thing I like the most about H.P. Lovecraft is his ideas, how creative he is, obviously, or else I wouldn't like him at all. And then his prose. His prose is, great. And I love how big his vocabulary is. He's the one who inspired me to read the dictionary in the first place. And if you don't believe me, then that's okay. But I did read the dictionary. I only got to level W, though. But yeah, the Miscellany of Macabre. I'll give it. I haven't done that much reading from it yet. I only read Near Loftetap, Azathoth, Fungi from Yuggoth. I already read that in another book. The History of the Necronomicon. Wait, what else did I read? I think I also read. Wait. I think I read that one book. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's called like a, not Cellophase, Polaris. Yeah, it's Polaris. I was thinking of Cellophase for a little bit, but then but I knew that it wasn't. So yeah, it's that one, and I also read Despair, and I read The Evil Clergyman, Nathikana. I don't really like Nathikana that much. I just don't really like poetry that doesn't rhyme. I read The Other Gods already. I'm planning on reading Ebid. I didn't read it at first because I didn't like it, but I think I might like it now. I don't know. And then so yeah, that's, I guess, a little bit of a bunch of books. So I'm gonna give it right now maybe a 7 out of 10. Because I actually rather hardcovers instead of these paperback stuff, but yeah, but that's not what it's about. And then also some of this stuff I rated a 7 out of 10 because there's some stuff here I don't think I really like. I don't ever want to read the Crawling Chaos with Winifred Virginia Jackson because I just don't want to read that much of H.P. Lovecraft's co-written stuff. I know that he co-wrote the Challenge from Beyond, so I will read that because I like it because he did do a big portion, like, well, a portion of the book instead of just editing it. I'm not sure if, well, he probably wrote this one and then Winifred Virginia Jackson like edited it, or maybe also wrote a small portion of it. But I just don't want to read The Crawling Chaos. I want to read the horror at Martin's Beach because I want to know what H.P. Lovecraft stuff was like with Sonia H. Green, who was his wife. I'm going to read no, I already read Halloween in the Suburbs. Sorry, I just forgot about that. So yeah, I don't want to read. There are some stuff here that I just don't want to read. For example, Poetry and the Gods with Anna Helen Crofts. I just don't want to read it. Whenever I look at it, doesn't look that interesting to me. I don't want to. Most of these co-written stuff I don't want to read. The Electric Executioner, I want to read that. Maybe I'll read it. The Last Test, I don't want to read that. Two Black Bottles, I want to read that. The Green Meadow, definitely not. I do not want to read that. Actually, maybe I will read it. I don't know. And The Trap, I do not want to read The Trap. I just don't like the sounding of that. But I will read In a Sequestered Providence Churchyard Where Once Poe Walked. I know it's a poem. I saw the manuscript in the Brown Repository. I was looking at the H.P. Lovecraft website. That's how I found that's why I was looking at the manuscript. What happened was this, okay? When I go to the H.P. Lovecraft website, I don't read directly from the text. I like to read from the manuscript itself because I just feel more comfortable that way. Oh, and by the way, I know that this is a drawing. I believe this is a drawing from one of his friends when, his friends drew this of him. I think one of his friends drew it. Anyways, this is a very good book, in my opinion. And then Neil Gaiman's quote, H.P. Lovecraft built the stage on which most of the last century's horror fiction was performed. I like the older fiction more than I like the newer fiction, because the newer fiction just sounds, well, because I feel more comfortable with these big words now. Because when I'm reading the new stuff, for example, it's not, what I'm gonna say is not a horror story, it's called Holes. I don't think it was made in 2000s, I think it was made in I think it was made early 2000s, but I read it at school because we had to read it, and I didn't really like it that much. I liked the story itself, I just didn't like the prose, and it was kind of weird for me. But yeah, and then like everybody was learning new words, and it kind of annoyed me that Emmanuel, I subscribe to your channel. When are you going to do more videos? So, oh yeah, shout out to Emmanuel, even though he didn't ask me. Shout out to Emmanuel. It is EMMANUELAYIKU. He makes Roblox videos if you're into that stuff. But yeah, he's just, like, it kind of annoyed me, which is kind of unfair for me to say annoyed because I'm the annoying one, but he's like, just some parts of Emmanuel annoys me. For example, he's always doing anime noises. He has to stop with those. And then also he pronounces desolate as desolate, which I just don't like at all. Everybody knows it's pronounced desolate. But yeah, like and subscribe. You should buy this book if you. Well, actually, you should get the Necronomicon. No, you should get this one because it has shorter stories. And if you just start to read again, or you just, like, for me, I didn't like reading at first, but then after that I got into H.P. Lovecraft. At first I got into Frankenstein, and I was listening to the audiobook. Then I heard of H.P. Lovecraft, started reading all those stuff. I focused on his short stories at first because obviously I have a very short attention span in reading at first, but I've gotten through the Dunwich Horror, and everything else. So after a while of reading H.P. Lovecraft, so you should be, and Hatton and At the Mountains of Madness. So yeah, you should be reading shorter stories first. So Elderitch Tales or the Arcturus will go there. The Arcturus classic H.P. Lovecraft edition is pretty good too. I'd recommend reading this one. This one and this one. Don't read Unknown Kadath if you don't like longer stories yet, though. So I'd recommend these two books actually, because this one actually has some long stories. These two are for if you really, really like H.P. Lovecraft. You can buy this book, just this separate book, in the Indigo. So just go get that one first to see if you like H.P. Lovecraft. If you do, then that's great, and then get the Elderitch Tales. Yeah, so that is the Elderitch Tales, Miscellany of Macabre of H.P. Lovecraft. Have a nice day or night. I don't know where you are or what time it is where you are. But yeah, have a nice day or night. Like and subscribe if you want, and keep reading if you like to read.